Let's face it, guys, retail's a chaotic world.
From those who work on the shop floor to the ropey customer trying to wangle a refund on a sweaty yet supposedly unworn pair of pants. We all have a story.
We chat to the sales assistants shackled to the cash desk, hoping and dreaming for that big break that will free them from the shop floor once and for all. And also to the incredible shop workers who love what they do but struggle to pay the rent or even dare to dream of getting on that elusive property ladder.
We're giving a platform to the shop owners who are transforming the retail landscape and the family businesses who continue to make retail work against all the odds.
Jasmine, are you ready for a deep dive into life on the shop floor?
Timothy, let's go.
So who else have I mean, obviously, I've talked in a previous episode how I used to be a Michael Jackson stalker.
Just a small Michael Jackson fan, Timothy.
So, I mean, I've been on many a shopping trip with MJ. So when I was like...
With him?
Followed and then we're allowed into the store, you know, so like Hamleys, shopping trips. I've been in the store and he's shopping in Hamleys.
But you've not needed anything from Hamleys. You're purely there.
We've been at the hotel and then jumped in a black cab and followed him to Hamleys. Or his security would say, or he would say, I'm going to Hamleys.
These are the psycho fans that I don't realise who they are.
They're me. I'm one of them.
You would wait outside the hotel for like what hours?
Yeah, no, it's like often if he would be doing something. So I would like, okay.
How would you know?
Because if you're a fan, you know these things.
Okay,
you know?
right.
It's like being a mega fan. Often like they would announce that he will be here at this hotel. Obviously they want the hype.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Hamleys, Harrods, HMV, lots of like late night
Buying his own album.
shopping trips at HMV at like 10 o'clock at night.
He's like, oh, I'll pick this one up. Oh, Thriller, yeah, that's a good track.
Oh, that's classic. I'll take a copy
Meanwhile,
of
you're
that.
next to him, getting all the ones he's touched
But he
to
was
sell
like
on
a
eBay.
really well-known shopper, and then would
Yeah.
like sign all the staffs. The staff would obviously be freaking out. Would go and pick up albums, like from his albums from the rack, and he'd be signing them for the staff.
I'd love to do
Isn't that incredible?
That'd be really cool.
And then bizarrely, MJ in Topshop. Can you believe he went to Topshop? Yeah.
What to get?
Shopping in Topshop.
Pair of Joni jeans. To be fair, they would fit him.
He was doing... I went to the World Music Awards. He was being presented with an award there. It was sponsored by Topshop. And Philip Green obviously wanted to show off and brought him into Topshop. So I'm on
And he was like, oh my God, what is this place?
So I'm like on the shop floor. MJ is perusing the aisles.
What, looking through all the women's wear, like,
Top man.
wow.
That was a good one.
He didn't buy anything, surely.
No, I don't think he ever paid. Did he? I don't know.
Paid for anything?
Would you pay? I would
They
make
have to
him
pay. You can't.
I feel like you could have that.
This is what I can't stand: is celebrities, influencers, rich people get everything for free.
True. Although I do remember once I was sat on one of these MJ expeditions. Sat
God
in
only knows where you were sat.
Hotel bar in the evening, chatting to his makeup artist. They'd been to Harrods.
Yeah.
And she was wearing these like really cool jeweled, encrusted boots. I was like, I love your boots. She was like, oh, Michael bought them for me in Harrods. I said I loved them, and he bought them for me. It's cute, no?
I wish I could go shopping with Michael Jackson now.
Well,
I'd be like, I love this.
But yeah, I mean, so many people. Do you want to know about any rude ones?
Yeah, because I find it always interesting who is rude, because they usually shock me.
The rudest I've ever encountered, Gary Lineker.
Really?
Yeah. So he came into a store I was working. He was like, hi, I'm collecting something for my wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely recognized him, never mind who his wife is. So I was like, okay, great. What's her name? He was like, my wife. I'm Gary Lineker.
I'd be
I was like,
sorry?
Okay, and she could have retained her surname.
Yeah.
Really rude and dismissive.
That's really rude. I mean, I wouldn't even know him.
I mean, no love lost, because I've never liked him anyway.
Well, I couldn't even picture him, his
The
wife.
Walkers,
I
Chris-
couldn't
oh, no,
picture
I
his
think he had
wife.
several.
Yeah.
No, I'm just making,
making
this
it
up
up.
now.
I tell you who is nice. Rodney from Only Fools and Horses.
Rodney, what's his real name?
Rodney.
Is that the older guy or the younger
The
one?
younger guy.
He's cool.
He's really nice.
Yeah. Where did you meet him?
In a store. He was buying something for, I'm pretty sure that's why you reminded me, his wife. And I look across, I recognize the voice so distinctly because he's just so distinct, isn't it, from the show? And you wouldn't recognize him really. I never talk to people. A lot of my friends would. They would. So one of my very good friends was in, I think, just Waitrose or something, and he's in the crisp aisle, and he looks across. No. What?
He's in the crisp aisle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm setting the scene.
Okay.
He's in the crisp aisle, and he looks across, and I'm pretty sure he sees Liam. It's Liam Gallagher, and he goes like, yeah, I really love your music, man. And like Liam's just like, yeah, thanks so much, dude. But out of the blue, he just says it to him. I wish I could do that. Like, and apparently he was really cool about it.
That's really cool.
It was either Liam or Noel, but it was apparently it was a really nice, like, little interaction.
Aww.
But I never have the guts to say anything. That's the thing.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Somerset, and I think Damon Albarn must have been, I don't know, he was in Somerset. It was at the train station. Me and my twin sister were there with my parents. And I wasn't a fan, but my sister was obsessed with Blur. She's like, oh my God, it's Damon Albarn, it's Damon Albarn. She was like, Tim, please go and ask for his autograph. So I wasn't fazed. I went over and I remember he signed. I wonder if she still has that. Yeah, he was really sweet.
Did
really
he?
Nice guy. Yeah.
I've never asked for an autograph.
Haven't you?
See, I need to do this.
I mean, not in the workplace, obviously. If you work in retail, you just need to be professional.
Yeah, of
You're not
course. But
asking
out
for
and
an
about.
autograph.
Out and about. I mean, imagine if they signed the receipt and you just kept that.
Who's the other one? Tom Hanks?
Oh, I'd love to see him. Apparently, he's such a nice guy, got a great reputation.
Really nice guy. And he was having pictures with the staff.
That's really nice.
Really sweet.
See, there's that, very subtle. And then, like, my boyfriend, on the other hand, will shout out of his car window to someone on the street the other day who was famous.
Who was that?
Do you know Andy Serkis?
No.
He's an actor. You'd recognise him. He was in... So we went through a phase of loving Luther. And Luther had just came out with a film on Netflix. And he's the villain in it. He's like a nasty, nasty guy. And he was just walking in front of my boyfriend's car. And he screams out, "Love you in Luther, mate."
Aww.
Apparently he was just like, "Yeah, thanks, buddy."
That's really cool. I'm sure they appreciate that.
I wish I had the guts. I'd go up for autographs.
That surprises me.
What?
I just think you seem so kind of ballsy.
I am ballsy, but do you know what it is? I always think if they're having a really rubbish day or they don't want to be famous for a moment,
Yeah.
the last thing they're going to want is me going. Like
I think you have to read the room.
When I saw Kate Moss's daughter, right, she was just chilling, having a salad. No one knew who she was. She was having a very normal moment. And I thought, I'm not about to go and ruin
I think
this.
that's there are moments. I think when someone's sitting down in a restaurant, they're eating or they're with their kids or, of course, you have to be respectful.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
You go up and you say, hello.
Yeah, no.
Knowing you, if you were in Michael Jackson's restaurant, you'd be under the table crawling up
maybe not. Who else is like a crazy one?
Who else has been rude? Or you've thought, oh, they weren't as...
No, I mean, few, if any, actually.
They want to keep their reputations.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, Pete Barnes, do you know who Pete Barnes is? So he was like the frontman of Dead or Alive, and he'd had this like crazy surgeried face and wore head to toe Vivienne Westwood. You'd know him by face. He was on Celebrity Big Brother.
So like you, crazy surgeried face.
Wow. I've had nothing done. So and I think they tried to have him arrested on Celebrity Big Brother. He said he was wearing a big fur coat that was an endangered monkey. Obviously, he's just trying to like...
He's just riling them up and they all fell for it, really.
Yeah. And he came in full face. I mean, his face was like something else. With his new husband. He's got a really strong Liverpudlian accent. He was like, yeah, we've just been for a colonic. Just flushed us out good and proper. I was like, okay.
A bit too much information.
And now a bit of retail therapy. And the brand that I work for, he was like, Pete was like, oh, tell him that I saw him in Camden. I think it was at Coco or something, private gig. And I was waving at him and he didn't see me. So I told the guy that I worked for the next day. He was like, I did see him. I was just ignoring him.
That's a good one.
But I mean, yeah, just like incredible to look at. Like, but I really didn't need to know that they'd just been to get their
It could have been worse. He could
bottoms
have pulled
flushed
down
out.
his trousers and tried to show you.
Ew. No.
Well, after Harvey Nicks and the things you've told me about that, I wouldn't be surprised.
This is true.
What's going on there?
Well, maybe I appreciated his candor, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice that he could share. Yeah.
Who would be your dream, like, to be dressed by?
I really don't have anybody, you know?
Yeah, you'll be lucky if anyone wants to even send you anything, let alone dress you in anything.
Wow. I mean, when Frank Ocean appeared for Prada, I thought that's very cool, you know?
That's cool.
And those collections were super, super cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Sometimes it's a bit overdone, though, I think, when they just get a celebrity to sell things.
Yeah. I mean, there's a time and a place.
I tell you, though, I feel like London people are harder to spot. There are lots of celebrities walking around, but they're hard to spot. New York, they're everywhere.
They are.
They are so easy. I saw someone from Modern Family, literally down one road.
Love Modern Family.
Like down one road, I literally saw about 5 famous people.
Really?
Yeah. It was insane. I saw him. He was eating and he was getting... It was the ginger guy.
No.
You do.
This is the generational divide. That's
Anyway,
clearly
in Modern
becoming
Family...
Oh, okay, we're back to Modern Family.
Yeah. He was getting involved in a
Mitch.
street fight.
Mitch?
Yeah.
Cam and Mitch.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
So someone was getting a bit rowdy on the street. I'm not sure what was going on. And he was sort of getting involved to try and stop it. I was like, isn't that the guy from Modern Family? I was like, wow.
He's meant to be super cool. He's meant to be a really nice guy.
He seemed really cool. So we saw him. Lots of models, obviously.
Of course. Natural habitat. New York.
Roaming around the empire.
Did you feel like a model?
No, I caught my reflection in the mirror and I thought, I look like I've eaten 2 models.
It's all that New York pizza.
Oh my God,
New York slice. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I couldn't give up that.
There's nothing better.
Oh, I tell you who else I've seen. See, this is going to be a generational gap for you, but this woman from Nina Dobrev from Vampire Diaries.
Means nothing to me.
I'm pretty sure she had an electric scooter with her.
You're going to say she had an electric shot.
Electric vibrator.
Wow.
With her.
Electric scooter.
Yeah,
I had
so
an
I saw
electric
her.
scooter during lockdown. It was so fun.
Oh, really?
But then I sold it. It wasn't very cool and I was getting fat. Because I was just like,
'Cause
I'll
you
just
were
jump
like-
on the electric scooter.
Just to walk 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah. And then I read all about these horror stories. People are in bed and they're charging and set fire to the house. So I was like, it's got to go.
And then you got a Peloton, I thought.
Yeah, then I had a
Where's that?
Peloton. It was like a middle-aged housewife move. I was like, I need a Peloton.
Yeah.
I had it when I was at Cambridge at uni. I had it in the halls in my room. My mates would come into my room and I'm like, who is this guy?
I mean, God,
He's got
that
a Peloton
is so
in his
sad.
That
They're
was
so
another. It was another lockdown.
They're so
purchase.
expensive. You must have got that financed.
No, I bought it outright. Thank you, Jasmine. But I sold it now.
Yeah, well, that lasted long, that phase.
Yeah, but I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I really loved it. Peloton's fun. It's really cool.
I
I'm
wouldn't-
pro Peloton.
I wouldn't go on one after Mr. Big died in the Sex and the City
Yeah,
reboot.
but
He died of a heart attack.
the reboot's so bad. Have you seen the new season?
Obviously.
Even the first episode, my housemate and I were just like ripping it apart. It's so cringe.
It
It's so
feels
out of
like they're
touch.
trying to throw every single topic that
No.
could be talked about into one
They're just
series.
trying to be incredibly
They're trying
woke.
they're trying to
And
include.
it's obvious.
It's too much. It's like this. It's almost becoming too well. It's not this realistic anyway, but like way too fictional.
Yeah.
Like when would all this be happening?
Miranda's a lesbian now.
But like we all
We
knew
knew that
that.
was coming.
We didn't need a whole episode series about it. I would love to see Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That would be a big one for me.
for sure. I mean, seeing Sex and the
SJP
City being shot on the streets of New York, that's very cool.
If SJP walked into my store,
Yeah,
I
that would be cool.
I would know that's when I made it. Or Kim Cattrall.
She's amazing.
She's so cool.
She's a Brit. She's from Liverpool too.
Yeah, hardly. She was born in Liverpool and then moved straight to Canada.
But still British. Come on. Yeah, she's super cool. She's a good one. So I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. I brought a little list with me today. I mean, Dame Joan Collins.
Oh, no, that's a good one.
Another gay
Anyone with
icon.
a tame.
God. Yeah, I'm a cliche. But Dame Joan.
You've probably met megastars that you don't even know because A, they're out of your generation, and B, you're not interested.
I think that's what's really interesting about you and I, our friendship, and about this podcast, is that there is a generational divide.
Yeah.
You know, it's 20 years, and, you know, we talk about stuff, and it's an education for me, and you're like, just like, what the hell's Tim talking about?
You say names sometimes, and I look at you and I go, yeah.
I mean,
I feel like I should. It's like when my mum and dad say, how do you not know who this person is?
Yeah. And I'm also living firmly in a time warp. You know, I don't listen to anything beyond the 80s and 90s.
And you don't really watch a lot of television.
I'm not a TV watcher.
Or film. I guess you watch some
film occasionally, but like YouTube, documentaries,
Yeah.
That's my vibe. Podcasts.
Yeah, so you're not seeing those people on the street.
No, like every night in bed I listen to podcasts. I would listen to this one, but your voice is so grating that I can't.
You're probably listening to cassettes, not podcasts.
Yeah, tape cassette with those headphones with the metal around the top.
I know. So you don't watch any of the new TV series? You don't watch Succession? Because I met the man from that in...
No, but my housemates are obsessed.
I'm obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
So good.
Yeah, like edge of their seat.
Yeah, I can't stop watching it. I watch it to the point of falling asleep now.
Really?
Which I know I like something if that's happening.
I mean, my problem, and that's probably what's kept me, I have such a short attention span. I'm convinced I've got ADHD.
Yeah.
You know, I really find it hard to commit to a box set or a 2-hour movie. Whereas podcasts are more bite-sized. You can listen to them passively. I can be doing other stuff. I like that. But yeah, not series. And where did you meet him? What's he called?
I forget his name, but he plays Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. His name's Tom in Succession. I know everyone's names, but it's not their real name.
Yeah.
And he came into a store I was working in, and he was with his wife, who's also in loads of stuff, like British dramas, like a very heavy BBC British drama actress. I think she was in Downton Abbey, maybe. And so nice. So nice. But it kind of broke the thing for me. I was like, oh, I wish you were still the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you invested in a box set. It's like if I met SJP and she wasn't exactly like Carrie Bradshaw, I would feel a bit sad.
I think she is.
Yeah.
I think she's fully
manifested herself in that role. Yeah.
It's one and the same person.
It's like Seth Rogen just plays himself every time.
Who would I like to meet? I'd like to meet Miriam Margolyes. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
You know for sure that what you see on the TV is what you're going to get when she walks into your shop.
She'd probably fart right in front of you.
She'll definitely be farting and swearing and talking about sucking off somebody in a tree or something.
She'd tell you that within 5 minutes.
She's brilliant.
That's why I like Ozzy Osbourne. I think he'd be super unfiltered. I like the unfiltered
Sharon's
people.
unfiltered.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And I would like that. And I'd like them to just be wild.
Ozzy's epic.
Proper rock star. You know, someone that doesn't give a shit. On Gogglebox there's two, and I can't remember what they're from. They're Northerners from like a rock band way back. You probably know them.
Wow.
And they don't give a fuck. They say anything that comes to their mind, and they're badass. It's like if you met I feel like if you met Queen.
The Queen?
No, not the Queen. Queen.
Well, we used to see
like
the
Brian
Queen
May.
driving past.
Yeah, I've seen the Queen.
Me too. She had very high hair.
Yeah.
Obviously the hair was in rollers, but I was shocked at the height. It was like Marge Simpson.
It's probably built up over time.
The crown was like perched on top.
Like a nest.
It added at least 4 or 5 inches to her height.
Yeah. And we've seen the other ones. I mean, I saw Prince Andrew. That was
awkward.
No one was smiling
William
about
and
that.
Kate, amazing. Always wave.
Yeah.
When they've driven past. Yeah. I mean, that's a different kettle of fish, though, isn't it?
The royals are not really, for me, there's not the same buzz. There's you can tell it's like, oh, it's like if I saw President Trump when he was president, I would have gone, I can't.
And I think the difference is that I don't think the royals are allowed to accept gifts, or everything needs to be logged. It's not like celebs, you know, and some call and they're like, can I have it for free? They are paying for their stuff.
yeah.
I mean, rightly so.
Yeah, as they should be. God. Who else? I'd love to see Margot Robbie.
Who's that?
You are joking.
I know the name.
No, you're joking.
I'm serious.
Oh my God. Have you seen the new Barbie film? She is the Barbie.
Isn't that film meant to be like, it's going to be a big hit?
Yeah. What's so cool about her, I like about her, is she lived in London for a long time. So she goes to like, she's been to all these like little crap nightclubs in London and people have seen her out and about.
Yeah.
She seems like relatively normal in that
I
respect.
think that's what I love about, the feature on the back of the Evening Standard magazine, My London.
Yeah.
And it really kind of gives you a snapshot insight into, they're not necessarily Londoners, but people who spend time here, actors, actresses, and like the hot spots that they go to. And there's places that I've read about in there and then gone to. There's a yoga place in Notting Hill that I went to.
You can't get your own ideas. You have to
Flippers,
just follow celebs.
The skate place in
I've heard of that
Shepherd's
one.
Bush, amazing. So it does work.
For you, yeah. You need influencing. And speaking of,
I know. We've got 5 minutes left, but should we touch on influencers?
yeah, I think it's only makes sense because there's two very different types, I would say. You have celebrities and then you have influencers who I think people...
Influenzas, as I call them.
I think people react to influencers in a similar way.
There's a desperation about influencers. And there is, interestingly, I've, spoken to colleagues and like, oh my God, do you know who that is? I mean, that's the power of kind of, it shows how celebrities diversified. Before you'd have to be a musician, have music out or be on TV. Now you can just have a platform on social media and you're a celeb. Yeah,
that everyone sees and they'll recognize you.
But I think there's a desperation to influencers, like it's weird for me. The content that I see that often is being produced is the same content that 1,000 other influencers are promoting. So I think it creates that, everything's homogenized on their channels.
I know, but when do you think there is a bridge? Do you think influencer can become celebrity in terms of...
Yeah, and it happens, doesn't it?
But I mean, they go into the world of acting and suddenly you see that...
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't
so
see
sure.
that very often.
I mean, then you'd have a YouTube channel, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think influencers, more in my mind, are people that are kind of basically doing a brand's job for them for free.
Yes, I would.
They're doing free marketing for these brands and thinking that it's a career. And I don't think it's a career. I mean, they're making money. It is a career.
Yeah.
I'm just jealous.
I know
that's
why I always wonder when people talk about influencers and they get heated. But
I think I would just feel unfulfilled, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they seek out other ventures, don't they? Because it's quite a short-lived.
But in my mind, that's not a star. I don't want a TikTok I wouldn't want you coming into my shop. I'd be like, who is this?
I feel so grateful you think I'd be a star. I mean, that's a compliment in itself.
There's hope for you, Jasmine.
Yeah,
a glimmer.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Celebrities, they have made their fame through something else and it's not through promoting brands, and therefore the byproduct is they can pick and choose their brand deals. I think you see with influencers, which is probably quite difficult if you're just starting out, is that you have to promote every living brand.
The influencer is being influenced.
Yeah.
That's the issue. The whole point to be an influencer is that you're meant to have a style that you want to tell people about, but actually it's the brands feeding them the products or saying, can you like this? Can you come to this? Can you, is this not really authentic?
It's only authentic when they get to the place where they don't need the finances to do everything, and then they can choose the brands that they genuinely resonate with.
And obviously, their lives are heavily curated and edited on social media, and I think we're moving beyond that now.
A bit like your face.
Heavily
edited and curated.
On Instagram. Again, that's the age gap. I'm always putting on a fabulous filter and you're like, Tim, that's so dated.
Yeah, Tim thinks that the first, when Instagram came out and they had their first filters, that to me are so dated. Tim's only just found out about them, so he's like, isn't this fabulous? We've got a vignette all around my face and it's orange.
I mean, anything that will kind of blur.
Blur the
That's
lines.
what I need at my age.
Blur the
blurring.
lines.
Yeah.
I think that's the generational gap too when we talk about the influencers.
Yeah, it's just not my world.
Yeah.
So you have to teach me.